Lorious here. Welcome back to the Love Lab. Today we are making no-bake cheesecake. This is the perfect summertime, well, anytime, but especially summertime recipe. No ovens, still the goodness. Come on in the kitchen, let's cook. First things first, guys, we're going to start with our crust. Here we've got some graham crackers and some sugar in here, and I'm going to add some butter, melted butter to that, okay? And all you're going to do is stir this up. Now, as you stir this, you're trying to hydrate all of these graham cracker crumbs, okay? And you know what? You can buy graham crackers and crush them up, but honey, let me tell you, you can just buy the crumbs already crushed. I'm telling you, modern technology is a beautiful thing. All right, you see here how it's looking nice and moist? Make sure you get it completely, I don't want to say saturated, but you really want all of these crumbs to soak up this butter because that's what's going to hold it together. All right. Now we're going to take a springform pan here. Okay, now this is the kind you open that and it pops out, okay? We're going to take that and we're going to put our crust in. Now I like crust. I will never skimp on crust. What we're going to do, so you might be thinking that's too much crust. Well, I beg to differ. I think it's barely enough. But you see how you've got that butter completely distributed throughout there so everything is moist? That's important. Okay, so then you're going to take your spoon to start with or whatever, just do the first pat outs like this. See how I'm turning this around? Okay? And then I'm going to actually get the back of a measuring cup and start really pressing this down because you want this firmly packed, okay? Now I use white sugar in this today, but you can also use brown sugar in this crust. Sometimes the brown sugar will give you a little more packing than the white sugar will, but you know, it's up to you. Now, this is important. You see how that happens right there? All you gotta do is just pull that stuff back down like that, okay? We're gonna use the measuring cup last, y'all. See there? I'm gonna show you how to really do this. My hands is clean. I'm sorry. My mother got on me about my grammar. My hands are clean. Okay. She said, Lori, stop butchering the English language in all your videos. And I said, I'm not, Mama. I'm just talking to my people. She said, we raised you better than that. You actually went to school. So, for my mother's sake, my hands are clean. And now I'm going to go in, now that I've done most of the packing. My mama loves me. She keeps me straight. See how I'm doing that? I just pack that down. Okay. And that's how we want to get a good amount of butter in there. Now we're going to put this in the freezer. Okay, we're going to put this in the freezer for about 15-20 minutes so this can set really nicely. And while that's in the freezer, we're going to mix up our pie filling and then we're going to let this baby set because we are not turning on the oven today. All right, into the freezer she goes. So guys, while our cheesecake crust is setting up in the freezer, we're going to start with the filling for our cheesecake. We're going to make a whipped cream base. Now, what we're going to do is start with some heavy whipping cream here, and this is nice and cold heavy whipping cream. The colder your heavy whipping cream is, the easier it will whip. Sorry for the noise. The colder it is, the easier it will whip into whipped cream. So, working upside down here, y'all. You know, gotta make sure all these angles is right and everything. All right, I'm gonna put this on and let this whip for a few minutes. We want it to get nice and stiff. But be careful because if you get it too stiff and you keep going, you'll make butter. Okay. Now I'm going to check this to see how stiff these peaks are. Look at this. You see this? Nice and stiff. How they hold. Oops. That shouldn't happen. So slow down. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay? We have nice stiff peaks here. I'm going to get these a little bit stiffer, okay? Hold on. Just a little bit more. These are going to be, this is going to give the volume that we need to our cheesecake. See how these are nice and stiff peaks? When you're making whipped cream to go, you know, on top of something, you may not whip it this far because you may not want the peaks to be quite this stiff. But for this particular dish, this is exactly how we need it. So we're going to take this out, set it aside. Okay, I'm going to put it in a bowl over here. Okay. Oh yeah, nice and stiff. This is gonna give our cheesecake a really nice lightness to it. Okay. And I'm gonna use the same bowl, but it's fine. See there? That's nice and stiff. That's what we want, okay? Now we're gonna go ahead in here and start mixing up our cheesecake, which is really our cream cheese base, right? Okay, and it's okay if there's a little bit left in the bottom of this bowl. I promise you, nothing bad is going to happen, okay? We're gonna start off with 3 blocks of cream cheese. All right, and these puppies are at room temperature. I left them out, let them get nice and soft, okay? And to that, I'm gonna add in some sugar. I'm gonna start mixing these first so it can start to get smooth and creamy. Okay, there we go. Now you'll notice also I'm using the paddle attachment. You can use the whisk on this if you want, it really doesn't matter. I just chose to switch to the paddle because my whisk, you know, was creamed up. All right, so we've got this going. See that? It's gonna get creamier, I just wanted to get it going. Now to this, we're going to add some powdered sugar and regular sugar. And I'm using a combination of the two for the texture. Okay, so I'm about a half a cup of sugar and a few tablespoons of powdered sugar. And I'm gonna start letting these whip together and get nice and smooth and creamy. Okay, see how this is coming together? I'm gonna stop real quick, scrape these sides down, just to make sure everything's looking good. We're getting better at this working upside down, y'all. All right, okay. Now I'm gonna add to this a little sour cream. Sour cream is your friend in cheesecake, for me at least. I like it. I like the little tang it gives, you know. If you're not into it, don't do it. But I advise you get into it if you're not into it. All right, put about a 1/4 cup in there. And a little bit of lemon juice. Lemon juice is nice as well. Helps those flavors just wake up. Acid is amazing. It wakes up the flavors. Let's put this mix in. And I'm gonna put some vanilla in there. Y'all know we've been rocking with this homemade vanilla for a minute. I hear you people. I'm going to make a video, I promise. All right, put about a tablespoon of that in there. Maybe a little more, because y'all, I just love the flavor of vanilla. I would say I'm sorry, but I'm not. And that would be telling the untruth. I apologize. And I promise to always be honest. All right, now we're gonna let this whip up real nice and super smooth. So you see the magic happening? All right, let's take a break on this. Scrape these sides down. This is important. When you do this, if you still see any lumps from your cream cheese, you keep whipping this baby until it's nice and smooth like this. You see how smooth and pretty that is? That's what you want. We're gonna whip it one more time. I wonder if I can play that song with it. No, I can't, because I don't have a license. And if I pay it, then we want some royalties or something. It's like that kind of show. But in your mind, think about whipping it real good. All right, that looks great. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna combine this whipped cream in with this. But we're gonna be careful when we do it, okay? You can do it in the mixer. But I'm gonna choose to do it a little differently, and I'll tell you guys why. All right? I'm going to actually stir in our whipped cream because I want to make sure that I don't deflate it. I want to keep this volume that the whipped cream is giving me, okay? So you see how I'm going to put this in, like so. And again, you can use your stand mixer for this, but I just want to make sure I'm very gentle. And I'm just folding this in, making sure not to deflate that whipped cream. Because that's where my volume is going to come from, and it's going to help with my consistency. So I'm making sure it's mixed, but I'm not overdoing it. Can you see that? See how I'm gently folding it in? And folding is really when you kind of go underneath, lift up, and put on top. Under, over, top. And you just kind of keep doing forms of that until you get it all incorporated. But don't overdo it because you will deflate. See how nice and light that looks? Oh, it's so pretty. Let me give it a little taste. Oh my God. Oh, thank God for no bake. Oh, this is good. Okay, and I'm making this a plain cheesecake, so you guys, maybe we'll decorate it when it comes out. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But this is your base. You can add different flavors here. You can add chocolate here. You can put in caramel here, whatever you wanna do, you can do it right now. All right, let's get our crust out of the freezer, and let's put this filling in it and let's keep going. So we've let 15 minutes go by, and here's our crust nicely set in the freezer. Here's the inside of our cheesecake, our filling. We're just going to dump her in. Oh, look at that creaminess. I'm telling you, that whipped cream is everything. Stiff peaks though, so that way when we do mix it in with the, cream cheese portion, it can really help it keep its consistency. All right, get yourself an offset spatula. If you don't have one of these, use whatever you have. You don't need to go buy one for this exercise, but if you have one, use it. Okay. Smooth it out. See that? And you want it smooth, because there's no eggs in this puppy. It's ready to eat. Well, it's not ready to cut, but you get my point. No eggs, so it's done. It doesn't have to go in the oven or anything. So we want to smooth it out, make it purty. I think my mom is okay with me saying purty. I love my mom so much. I'm thankful. I'm blessed to have a good mom. See how I'm touching the edges here and going around? That's just to make sure I've kind of sealed everything around that side, those sides, the edges. Just like so. All right, here we go. And I'm going to cover this with some plastic wrap, or you can use foil, either one. I think I'll use foil. Okay? You can use plastic wrap, but I'm gonna use foil. I get scared of plastic wrap. We're gonna cover this really well, like this. Okay, and see how I'm making sure that I don't let the foil hit onto the cheesecake, because I want the top to be really pretty. Okay? Whew, there we go. I'm gonna wrap this up real good, wrap it a couple more times around. I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator and let it sit for, all right, here's the hard part. It really should sit overnight, okay, to be really firm. If you can't go overnight, try 12 hours at least. If you can't do 12 at least, try 8. But no promises, okay? You need to let this puppy get firm, okay? If you get anxious and you cut it too soon, don't call me, because I'm telling you, wait till tomorrow. All right. Well, family, it is the next day. I let this thing sit overnight because I wanted to make sure that I got every piece of goodness coming to us in this cheesecake. I took the foil off, and now I'm going to get ready to basically undo it. And I've got some more whipped cream here that I'm going to spread on the top. So I'm going to start by just kind of going in these sides a little bit, making sure everything feels nice. And it does. It feels cheesecakey. I'm using another one of my offset spatulas. Oh man. Setting this overnight, I think, is really the best bet. I was so tempted last night, y'all, to go in and get this puppy out. Okay. Oh Lord. Y'all, here comes the moment of truth. Are we ready? Are we ready, fam? This always scares me, this part. Okay, hold on, let me make sure. Okay. And ooh, 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 ooh. Hold on. Ha ha! Look at that, family. Is that not beautiful? Let me wipe my arm off. But that is a perfectly set, no-bake cheesecake. You see how beautiful that is? I'm telling you, letting it sit overnight is honestly the best thing to do, okay? So I'm gonna just take this spatula. I got some more whipped cream here. Okay, and I'm just gonna top it with a little bit of whipped cream. And even though the colors are the same, the texture is going to be different, so you're going to have a really nice whipped cream topping on this. I like whipped cream. You know, you can do extra icings or things, but I find sometimes that the flavor of the cheesecake itself gets to really shine through when you just do a nice whipped cream topping. Look at this. And I don't need a ton. Look how pretty that's set. Oh, family! Now, you can make this whatever flavor you want. Remember, I think I talked about that earlier. It was yesterday, y'all. I don't remember now. But you can make this caramel. You can make it chocolate. You can do all kinds of things with the flavor on there. And also with the topping. Now, I just went for a plain vanilla cheesecake, though, so I wanted you guys to see the basics. And then kind of just get an idea of different things you can do from there. You can put a strawberry topping on here. You can put banana topping on here. You can put peaches on here. You can put caramel. You can put chocolate chip. Honey, the world is your thing. Do you, boo? You know what I'm saying? Okay, now I'm going to finish that little spread right there. And go like this. See that? This is actually a cake plate, y'all. And I just like to put things on it because it lets me swirl. Look like I'm doing something. Just like that. Oh, yes. And the oven has not been on, so the house is not 100 degrees from the oven. And look at that beautiful cheesecake. Look at that. Oh, hold on. I got one side. Let me get the side ready. Is that not beautiful? And we haven't even turned the oven on. All right. I'm going to cut a slice. Ooh, perfect. I should probably take it off the spinning bottom now, because you get a nice clean cut by letting it sit. I just want to make sure I really get all the way through. There we go. And stick you right here. Oh yeah, that crust is set. Nice. Okay. First slice is always the hardest, fam. Woo! See, now the spinner was good for putting the icing on, but the spinner is not your friend for getting the slice. All right, we're gonna make this work. Ready? Hold on, make sure I got it right. Just one. Here we go. Look at that. See that? This is also why you want to let it sit overnight, because I'm telling you, if you want to get that real nice clean cut like that, you want it to be nice and chilled. So since I cut it and didn't make a fool of myself, I might as well go ahead on and taste it. Amen. Oh. Listen. 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 You don't need to go through that bacon and cheesecake no more. This right here is everything. You see that crust? See how nicely set it is? That's because we put it in the freezer first. And I literally let this baby sit overnight in the fridge. And this is perfect. So I might put some caramel on here. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but I might just eat it. It might not get anything on it. Thanks for joining me, fam. I hope you find some, oh my God, make you some no-bake cheesecake. This is delicious. I'll see you guys next time right here in the Love Lab for more cooking with me. Happy cooking.